That was, yeah. I gotta tell you, this is the first time in my comedy career that I have had other comedians behind me and people looking up to me. Sad but true. Sad but true. So 2021, right? Let's do a progress report 2020. So New Year's resolutions. My New Year's resolution for 2020 was to step back and give myself a little bit of me time, you know? To maybe like distance myself from people, log a few thousand hours on Netflix. At first, last year I didn't think I'd accomplish it because I had a job and a social life, but thankfully 2020 took both, so achieving my goals, there we go. It's hard accomplishing your New Year's resolutions, right? Because what are the top 3 New Year's resolutions? Top 3 New Year's resolutions are fixing your online reputation, right? Losing weight and getting out of debt. And then you rewind. October, you wear really embarrassing costumes that somebody photographed and posted. November, all eating. December, all spending. And then you're like, I need to fix all of that. So my solution for the low price of $400, I will put you in a coma in September and wake you up in January. That way you accomplish everything. You're ahead of the game. Last year was so crazy, like COVID, quarantine. Luckily, all that stuff's over. It's crazy. That's good. New Year's Eve is like, it's a great way to take like a friendship and allow midnight to make that friendship super awkward, you know? Just like, I've been wondering all year, are we just doing this once, or are we just gonna make out until 1 o'clock in the morning? Okay, just once. That's fine. I should buy more champagne. So this New Year's, I played the same game I played on the 4th of July. It was a great game. It's a game called Firework or Firearm, right? You hear something explode, you're just like a fun little guessing game with the family. Was that someone's gun or a Roman candle? 4th of July, there was no guessing, just riots. A lot of people, their New Year's resolution is to cut back on drinking. I will tell you guys, I know it's weird to say this in New Orleans, but like, I don't drink. When I tell people I don't drink, they assume that there's like a crazy story, you know, like me or my mom or my dad had some horrible drinking problem. I gotta tell you, I hate to disappoint you, there's no story. I actually just don't like the taste of alcohol. I also don't eat mayonnaise. But that's because my dad would beat the fuck out of me with a mayonnaise jar. So there's that. I don't know if you guys know this, but last year in August, they announced that college enrollment was at the lowest they've ever seen, especially amongst females. So as it turns out, those strippers were actually paying for school. You're not just supporting single moms. When I went to vote, I don't know if it was just me or COVID or what, but like the women volunteering at the precincts were some of the prettiest women I'd seen in 7.5 months. And I think with me, there was just a big sigh of relief, you know, to see beautiful women working the polls again. Crazy. That's a punny joke. All right. We're like really starved for conflict, you know, because like even those of us working, like we don't have those conflicts with our coworkers. A lot of us are like working from home, so we're not dealing with traffic jams. I knew I was starved for conflict when I was yelling at my TV at 1:30 in the morning. Let me explain. I don't know how many avid Netflix people there are out there, but I'm knee deep into programming and it stops and it's like, are you still watching? And I'm like, fuck you! I work hard, I'm relaxing, I've had a rough day, I've been very productive. And Netflix is just like, no, I just was trying to make sure you weren't falling asleep. Or, are you still watching this? Starved for conflict. You know, it's weird. Like, I would watch movies and automatically I would feel like the movie was old because none of the characters had cell phones. But now movies feel old because none of the characters have masks. So weird, been too long. And I don't know about the other men out there, but I broke my dick all year. It was crazy. Broke my dick, broke my psyche because of the porn, you know? Like, what happens is you have to find something more and more like socially unacceptable. You have to find things that are kinkier and more taboo. And so what's weird is now I can only get off if they hug. Oh, so intense. My friend got on these dating apps in February. Really my friend, not just me. My friend got on the dating apps just after Valentine's Day. And he actually met a girl, and they hit it off really well. They got to meet up twice before this whole craziness happened. And then the phone calls, but then the phone calls were less and less. The texts were less and less, until finally nothing. With the statistics, she might literally be ghosting right now. It's crazy. Too soon? Not soon enough? I don't know. But it's weird, you know, living in New Orleans, people all the time ask me, do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts? And I'm like, no, I'm sure she's just really busy with work, you know? I'm sure she'll get back to me. I want to come up with a show called Ghost Hunters. We don't look for supernatural beings. We just go to local bars trying to find out why Stacy hasn't called John back in 4 days. Super. I think it's going to be a real big hit with the hipsters. I don't know about you guys, but I've been more and more paranoid. Like, I heard my neighbor coughing, like incessantly coughing, and I thought that they had really bad symptoms, but it turns out they just have really good weed, you know? Thanks to all my drug dealer people out there. All right, Dad, calm down. But speaking of neighbors, you guys got to look out, okay? Because it's not just your finances. Think about other people. Like for me, if my neighbor loses her job, I lose my internet. We're in this together. Keep the Wi-Fi going, Ann. I have a smartwatch, and like technology has changed so much in the last year. It has like a quarantine mode where it praises me for not walking, running, or leaving the house. It's incredible. Every once in a while, I feel tempted to just give up, you know, but it inspires me. Sit down! It's great. Like a third grade substitute teacher. Sit down, shut up, and don't do anything. It's weird. Like, I start connecting all these news articles. Like, for instance, in March and April, they kept encouraging people, get pets, adopt pets, get pets. And then in late May, they announced a meat shortage. I just assumed those were connected. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have a really low self-esteem, I go to Walgreens just to remind myself what it's like for a girl who hardly knows me to ask me for my phone number. Checking me out, just checking me out. Crazy. Speaking of, wouldn't it be so weird if self-checkout was just a section full of mirrors, you know? Just me. I just think about that. I was at City Park. People are cracking. They're breaking. I was at City Park and I saw a man in the middle of the field standing there playing with himself. Him and his balls and no one to throw them to. So lonely. It's a misdirection joke. All right. Two more jokes. Then I'll leave you guys. Another New Year's resolution, I gotta tell you, with everything going on, your mental health is extremely important, and I promised myself I would only surround myself and associate myself with people who were positive. And now, I will not hang out with you unless I know you're negative. All right. Finally, just be careful out there. You know, everybody gets lonely. Keep the bed warm as much as you can, but stay protected. Not down here. Who gives a fuck about that? But the masks. Keep them on. Keep them on, because you don't know what she looks like underneath that. So just, she has beautiful eyes, and if that was enough, leave it at that. You guys have a good night.
Chris Anthony, everyone. Keep huddled up, you guys. We're almost there. We got to